Hey, welcome to the 7 o'clock stunt stream. I've been working on the Magnum most of the day, most last night too, but I'm just kind of burnt out on it. So I decided that I would get this airplane ready to go. We're going to go out tomorrow. I had the wheels off of this and the tank out of it. The tank went from this airplane to the Continental. Now I had a carbon tank, and I think the carbon tank was in the Continental, but we're not going to monkey with it. I'm just going to leave it as is. Ooh, almost fell off the bench. So I got this all back together, and it's 58 ounces. Pretty respectable for an airplane this size. It's bigger than the Magnum, and it's 62. It's lighter than my Continental, which is 62, I think. But this one was 58, so 58 and a half, I guess, whatever. And that's without manipulating the spinner and so on and so forth. So I've been painting red in the shop, so I've been wiping this down. I'm probably going to take this to FCM along with the Magnum. But I want to take it out tomorrow. I'm gonna fly this on Spectra lines because it's either that or the 65-foot 15 thousandths or 14 thousandths that I got made up. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just wiping the overspray off of this thing because there's red everywhere in here. Good evening, Steve. Let's see here. There we go. I'm getting together my my OS32F. I think I'm going to use that in my Viper for next year. And you say 32, they're flying 60s. Well, that 32 puts out as much power as a 60 when it's on a pipe. Yeah. I ended up finding a needle valve for it. Well, then you better go to the lumber yard and get yourself a stick like I showed you. This engine here will fit in there just like that, sideways, and this will be centered right down the middle of the fuselage. And buddy, this thing puts out the power when it's on a pipe. It'll turn a 13-inch prop. And the thing that makes the Viper such a neat airplane, I powered it with everything from I had one with the OSFP 40, which was number 1. Number 2 had a 32 in it, which I really liked. Number 3 had a Super Tiger 51 in it. Number 4 had a VF 46 in it. Number 5 had a Super Tiger 60. Then number 6 went to a VF 46. Number 7 had a PA 61. Number 8 had a PA 65. But to be honest with you, I like the little ones better. The little ones turn better, and they just all around flew better. Now, John Lowry, he bought my Sorcerer, which was kind of the test bed for that airplane. Too bad Les Nearing ain't around anymore. I'd get him to make me another pipe. Or he may be around, but I don't think he's making pipes. So I'm going to have to make it myself. Just get a pool cue and make one. Okay, so I'll put this back. We're going to finish wiping this off and get it ready for tomorrow. If you don't think red gets everywhere, I'm going to show you. Yeah. Don't poke no holes in it. Okay. Go to the lumber yard and get you a stick 2 inches by 1/4 inch thick by 60 inches long. Clear white pine. Now this airplane here is a year old. Maybe it's a little older than that. Maybe going on 2 years old. Haven't flown it much, but it does fly good. It just had motor run problems, but got that sorted out with the fuel issue. So I'm gonna fly this one tomorrow. See if I can get it back in trim. I don't know how close it is. I mean, I think it'll be pretty close. I'm gonna go back to my old time handle from the 90s. I'm gonna get used to flying this again. This is made out of light ply, 1/4 inch light ply. This handle always works good. And pink waving. I don't know what that means. We need some compoundio. Need a little bit of this. I probably shouldn't be wearing this shirt. It's probably going to go all over this Brodax shirt. Seems like every time you guys come on here, I'm always sanding, rubbing, or painting or something. What do you guys think about, if you got one guy on here who wants to build my Viper, what do you guys think about me doing a drawing and then selling those drawings for any of you guys that want to do it? The nice thing about a Viper is it's freeform. The plans are in my head. already got a rib pattern cut for it. Need to call John and see what he's going to take to fly. You're a CAD designer. Okay, cool. I'll draw one out on paper and mail it to you, and you can CAD design it, get it printed, and send it back. I'm a CAD designer too, cardboard aided drawing. It's a whole lot faster than computer aided drawing. This airplane here is pretty close to a Viper right here, numbers wise. I think I got a 1/4 inch more root on this one. The tips are a little different shape on this one. And not a whole lot. I mean, this is. I should have did this one as a Viper. Change the tail design and the elevator design. Stabilizer. The original had a beam wing, a beam stabilizer too. Let's see, what's the span of it anyway? 58. With 11.5 inch root cord. It's a big wing. Well, I tell you what, if you build one around 48 ounces, you'll love the damn thing. It's an ass kicker. I don't know that we can get the wood to build it at 48, but we're going to try again. I guess when I make the spar, I should draw that out on paper to to illustrate how that works, but there would be no directions on how to do this spar except for the video, because I can't explain it. Just a lot of work. You know, back then I didn't have any carbon toe. I'm going to add toe to this one. I had carbon veil, but no toe. Come out too bad. I just been tinkering around the shop. I pulled out all my Brodak parts and put them on pegboard like a hobby shop in there. I'm starting to get stuff put away. Tomorrow after flying, I'll probably make a plane hanger so I can get all the planes up off the floor in the other room, because I got it set up so that Steve can come over here and start building. And the way it is right now, it's a mess. I got to get the paint table cleared off. I kind of wanted to wait till I got the painting done before he came over. So it'll be 6 months before I'm ready to paint again. Yeah, we're still good there. I should put a V on this. Aegis V, meaning this really is a Viper, just a little different shape, that's all. And it's not a Beamer, but it's close. This one here would not be M30 legal. This is just an updated version. Yeah, we're getting it clean. And I looked around for my aluminum wheels. I can't find the damn things anywhere. Don't know what I did with them. Yeah, we got most of the red overspray off of this thing. I went down and changed the filter in the furnace. It was red. It's the way it goes. It was red. So we got the 7 o'clock hour in. Did you guys miss me today? I mean, I was on late last night. I got to get an early night's sleep if I'm going to go out to the field tomorrow. Get this place cleaned up, you'll be able to see how give you a shop tour, but I'm not giving you a shop tour until I get it clean. These two paint jobs are similar, except there's more white on this airplane. Same colors, except I didn't use that really nice red on this. This is white, insignia red, orange, and yellow. So same primary colors on it as the Magnum, just in different proportions. I think the next airplane that I do is going to be blue. I'll paint it just like I painted my Viper Super Glide. That's what we're going to build as a Super Glide. The Harley Davidson Viper hanging on the wall was a dud. It no good. Funky fuselage shape, and it was for a PA 40 ultralight, and I didn't like it, so hence it's in good, actually decent shape. You should cut the wing out of it and build another fuselage. Yeah, it turned out good. Hey, Esteban. That's the real Steve Smith. Yes, I tried 4 strokes. Too heavy. Too heavy, no power. People argue with me how great 4-stroke is. Well, you can have them. You can have my share. Should have flew this one at the Nats this year instead of that other airplane. But I was running late. I said, well, we got to make a choice. I need to get the weight out of the nose of this thing. I could get this down to 56 ounces if I had a good tank and a good spinner and a prop that was made of wood instead of carbon. High high 56s. If I sent you a complete pencil drawing, how long would it take you to put in CAD? Well, this video here is just kind of me standing around rubbing on this thing. So if you're not interested in that, I mean, there's plenty of other content on here. I revamped the channel to go. The first thing that pulls up is the past live streams because I'm doing everything live now. But you still can watch some of the voiceover videos, my most popular videos. Shit, we got 2,600 videos for you to choose from. There is no urethane on this airplane. Period. I'll give you a little look at it cam in hand. It's relatively shiny. Remember last night I was telling you about the sharp crispness of the. Okay, my hand is far out as I can reach it towards the light, and you can see that's 36 inches. You can see my hands, 1, 2, whatever. Looks like a bowling ball. Now urethane doesn't look like that. It's glossy, but it doesn't have that. I don't know. This is a strange luster on these things. We got a little bit of haze in here. I keep working on. You can see it in the one. It's not quite perfect, but I'll keep sanding and rubbing till it gets perfect. And the nice thing about dope is the longer you let it set, the easier the shine will come up. This paint is going on actually 2 years old. So it's not like you have to have fresh paint to polish up. The longer it sits, the better it polishes. The Magnum is still gummy, you know, and I think it was, what the hell is that? Phil. I can't remember what's Phil's last name. Phil told me about that AutoZone primer bleeding through, and you know what? It did bleed through. So I gotta get something to block that primer spotch on the elevator and the stabilizer. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I gotta pull a rabbit out of my hat somehow. I got some Crest self-etching primer that I can dust on there and try to block it. But that means I gotta repaint the inboard stab and the inboard elevator completely on one side. I guess I could get that. We'll set this one back over there and get that, because I haven't worked on that today at all. This one here is good enough for taking it out tomorrow to fly. I got it all together. It took quite a while. That prop is a 13 3/4 Phelps propeller, 4.5 pitch, and you run that at and it'll 4-stroke real nice. What's the tech say? I don't know. So let's get that. I'm gonna put some paint on that. Yeah. I keep working on it. Got to keep working on it. Well, I can feel the difference. It's 3 ounces difference. I can feel that. I can feel it. Come on, get on there. Yeah, we have to set it off the pad. Which airplane? I've had 2 out here now, different engine in each one. This one has a Super Tiger 60, the other one has a PA 65. Okay, I want to show you the primer bleed on this. And we're going to try to get out of this. I really should have turned it this way. This airplane feels solid, boy. Really solid. I've sanded this, and it's time to start buffing this, but we're gonna sand this. If you look right here, okay, let me change cameras. Now we can turn this down this way. You see this dark spot right here? That's bleed through the paint. The other airplanes, my Aegis, which is really, it's really a Viper, but it's got a different shape, tips and different shape elevator stabilizer, and it's not a beam wing, but same numbers. 10, 16 and a quarter, 11 and a half inch root, 10 inch tip, 58 inch wingspan. All right, let me put this on there. Oh, let's see, which one are we at here? There we are. Okay, if you look here, you see this dark spot right here? That's bled through the white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that, and I'm going to block it with with primer. And we're going to shoot that again. I'm going to do that on here too. Second time I'll tape this off, but this time I'll shoot some primer on it. The only primer I have that I know that won't bleed through is this crest, but it's self-etching. So I've got to make sure it's smooth because we're not going to be sanding on it. These things are getting quite heavy, so I gotta take off the paint off of this. But it should sand off pretty easy because it's can't believe this thing did that. I don't understand. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Sando. This elevator be finished better than anything on the airplane. Have more paint, more sand out. Hopefully I can get it to lighten up. It definitely didn't like it. Got to get it down to the ocean floor, as Chad would say. No, it's, trust me, it's been painted 4 times. If you go back and look at the channel, I complained about it. I sanded it. I didn't put any primer on it, though. I sanded it and shot it again with white. It's primer bleed through of some type. Phil Bailey was complaining about, of course, I don't remember using primer back here, but I could have. About Harbor Freight bleed through. It could be in the silk span. You know, I used old silk span on this airplane. Well, it'd be nice if I could sand it off instead of having to put paint on it. I'd be pretty happy. You know, I always hear guys talking on the channel or on the forum. I added weight to balance it. Do not add weight. Take it off somewhere. You need tail weight. Don't take tail weight off. Take nose weight, or put tail weight on it. Take nose weight out of it. Never add. Always take away. Unless you want to believe Ted Fancher's rule of thumb of, I put 8 ounces of weight on the CG and it flew better. Okay. There's some other problem somewhere. Ted and Brett are good guys. They just got California ideas. Of course, Brett being a rocket scientist, I can't tell him nothing. You guys need to fly my airplanes once. I got Charles convinced. I told him you're going to throw rocks at your airplane when you go home. You want to do maneuvers upwind? The only thing that can do that is power. Power. We can only put so much power in something without it weighing 1,000,000 pounds. So what is power? If you take the weight out of it, you're adding horsepower. Power to weight ratio. So instead of putting a bigger engine, make a lighter airplane. Light as you possibly can get. the guy who taught me that stuff, you know, I never thought he was, I thought he was full of crap, but I know now he was correct. Yeah, there was a primer on this. But I know the crest will block it. It's got to be sanded perfectly smooth. The problem is it's going to be a different color. I don't have any white primer. That's a pretty good sand out. Yeah, we get 46 minutes in. What does this weigh? This airplane is 62 ounces. That's the flying weight, 62. The Aegis with the bigger engine is 59 or 58, 58 and change. With a better finish on it than this. Okay, that looks like it's going to do it. Hopefully I can get it all one color. I'm not using any more of that AutoZone stuff, that's for sure. I don't know what the hell happened. Why it did that. But I can see it right here still. Okay. This is self-etching for steel, chrome, stainless, and aluminum. So it ought to bite into wood real good. It's either going to be extremely dark or all the same color. You gotta wait to turn it around and grab it by the other end. PA 65 is 1 ounce heavier. Plus, you got a pretty good sized muffler that goes on it. So on this airplane, I'm carrying a 23 ounce, I think it was 23 ounce hardware package. On that one, it's 25 ounce hardware package. That includes the tank, the pipe, the header, the engine, the spinner, the prop, and the wheels. And this one here, I think, was 22 or 23. This airplane here is a foamy. This airplane here is an all-around heavier airplane. And I didn't add any extra parts, and I didn't put much glue on for the skins. So it's my selection of wood, and that it is a foam wing airplane. It is it's laser straight, but you can't get away from that weight. That airplane only has 20 ribs in it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18 ribs in it. Now the Viper will have a rib every 1.25 inches. But they're only 1/4 inch. And I've already got the 1/8 inch sheet for the ribs. The template, the airfoil is right here. You can do this with a shoe. This is a shoe airfoil. Don't need no stinking CAD program for an airfoil. It's over there in the corner. I'm not going to bother with it. Well, I guarantee it won't have a faded spot in it now. It'll just be probably darker. That's the way it goes. Of course, it's on the top. I've got to do this area here too, because this here has it, so I'll have to re-ink that. And I don't know what you heard, but okay. We are 6 minutes away from closing. You guys got any questions? I try to keep these, unless I'm doing something, you know, these updates down to an hour, because an hour is a pretty respectable amount of time for this. That wing is buffed out. This wing here needs to be buffed. It's been sanded and it's pretty flat. But I want to get all this stuff fixed. We're not going to get this one out tomorrow. I was going to shoot for this weekend, but I'll just take the Aegis out and get it ready to go. The problem that I was having, see, I even went to a pressurized fuel system on that. Because the fuel I had was crap. It just would not run. I haven't seen many foam wing airplanes under 60 ounces, and 62 is pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, it ain't bad. I could make it lighter, change the tent, change the spinner, leave the wheel pants off. It'd be 60 ounces, but it wouldn't look cool. So we get a carbon spinner on for a 1/4 ounce. I can take, and it all depends how it flies, how it comes out. Switch the tank out and save for an ounce and a half savings in the tank, an ounce savings in the nose, so that's 2.5 ounces. I could take 3 ounces off of this by leaving these parts off and switching them out. So it'd be 59. But it wouldn't be cool looking, so we got to have cool. Hum. We got to have cool. This is a 90s airplane, so can't expect too much. But when you feel this, you grab onto it, it feels just like a baseball bat up here. It's so solid, it's ridiculous. Of course, my other one feels solid, but it's 3 ounces lighter. Trust me, you can feel that. And if I go 3 ounces lighter than that one, it even feels like a feather. So I can imagine, well, I have held Billy's Thunderbolt at 53 ounces. It's a huge airplane. It don't weigh shit. But he has helium wood. I don't have that helium wood. Let's sand this up and paint it, I guess. We'll see if it's dry here. Just give it a quick block. This is going to work. It just might be a shade darker, so. Gonna be smooth as a baby's bottom, though. Be beautiful. That's for all you guys from Minnesota. Beautiful. Of course, I doubt I got many guys from Minnesota watching. It's almost ready. Come on, hurry up. I guess I'm sick of polishing, though. I polished my ass off till 4 o'clock in the morning on that wing out there. I can't do that again. I got into the zen and just kept right on going. Look up and it's 4 o'clock. This is a Bali 13.6. See, this prop here on this airplane is an ounce heavier than the wood prop. 1 ounce heavier. At 1.8, that's 0.8. And I've heard people say, well, it's stiffer. Yeah, well, I'd rather have it lighter. What is the date today? How many days I got left to do this? I'm hoping this thing flies right off the bench. It should. It's got all the right stuff on it. It's straight. Oh, crap. Now the other primer was sandable primer, where this is not. This is etching primer. I'm gonna try to sand it a little, just enough to get some tooth, then we're real quick shoot the white on it and see if I can get it to match. And then tomorrow I'll ink it and clear it. And if it does match pretty good, I'll probably fix this here too. I just can't believe it bled through that bad. It's unbelievable. We'll see here. I wish I had some DC 540. I know that stuff works. But alas, I have none. Zero. Zero, zip, nada. Yeah, it'll look all right, I suppose. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. At least it'll be one color. Let's do 800. Let me give you a weight on this. This thing's starting to pork out. I mean, you wouldn't think this stuff would be that heavy, but I'll bet this is an ounce at least. Nope, 0.85, 3/4 of an ounce. Little portly though. Should be like half ounce. Like half ounce. You like the trip to Wicks, huh? They had some neat stuff over there. I know now where I'm going to get my glass when I build my molded airplane. Carbon fiber and the phenolic, and I don't need any of the 4130 chromoly, but you know, Dan was looking for some 4130, and I knew I could get it from Wicks right away. You call up there and poof, they got it. Okay, I've sanded this down now with 800. 320, then 800. This is non-sandable primer, so self-etching. So it ain't easy. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can paint over it, no problem. I tried that AutoZone shit, and that's what happened. Yeah, if you want this red, just call Wix up and ask for Stunt Hanger Red. And buddy, it's red. I thought Miss Ashley Red was red, but this is twice as red as Miss Ashley Red. I think this is their version of Cadillac Red. I'm not sure though. Polyfiber PT paint. Yeah, I don't want to bend over. I don't know. I might leave that splotch on the stab. Not worry about it. Just way too much work for an airplane. I'm not really going to get any appearance points for anyway. And just shoot it white, and we're done. Put it on and stripe it, and then clear it. This airplane here would be a good backup airplane because it's Pampa capable, but it really doesn't have the performance that the late model stuff does with the rear exhaust and pipe and all that stuff. But this is capable of a really nice pattern. Mike Pratt used to fly pretty nice patterns with Magnum, but he designed it so. And I think the numbers are pretty close to my Viper too, except the wing root is 10 on this, maybe 10 and a quarter. I think the tail moment's 16 and a quarter, and the nose is 10. My Vipers, I had noses anywhere from 9 to 10 inches, depending on what engine I was going to put in it. If I'm going to use an OS 32F, it'll be 10 and a quarter. And if I'm going to use a 46 VF, it'll be 9 inches. That's just how I do things. My airplane designing theory is all around the engine. How much does the motor weigh? And we'll build it to fit the engine. Remember, I've talked about this before. We fly airplanes that are set up exactly like sprint cars. Sprint cars are set up to turn right or turn left, but they really want to turn right. So these are set up the same way. With instead of stagger, we're using differential wing lengths. Instead of pitch, we're using motor offset. And instead of wedge, we're using lead out offset, but it does the exact same thing. That's why a sprint car really doesn't steer straight unless it's sideways. Same with a speedway motorcycle. You can't ride a speedway motorcycle going straight. It's got to be kicked to the side. or else you can't steer the damn thing. It's not made to go straight. It's made to go left. And they have different length handlebars. It's so far off, and the foot pegs are in a different spot, you know, for your feet, so you can get leverage on the frame. And a JAP Speedway motorcycle or a Jawa would climb the wall, a 2-story brick house, if you could hold it to the wall. I mean, that's how much power they got. They only go 60 miles an hour, but boy, they got torque like you can't believe. They got some torque. That's 60 miles an hour and about a 25-foot length. I played with those when I was in Corona. Mr. Hachu, man, we lived right underneath Ken Maley. I raced a lot of shit when I was a kid. I had cars and bikes, and I had one boat that had a 392 Hemi in it. One boat. But it really wasn't a drag boat. It was more of a ski boat. But it's good. It'd go. I wish I had that back. For the young guys listening, ask somebody older what they think you should keep, and once they tell you, keep that. Because my dad told me I had a 1936 VL flathead, 74-inch flathead Harley Davidson, pretty much all original, and I wanted to go to Daytona, and I traded that for a Honda 750. My dad told me, do not do that. Well, I didn't care about the value of the motorcycle. That motorcycle right now is worth about $60,000. I think it might have ended up with Dale Waxler, but I sold it to a guy at Sunshine Enterprises, traded for a Honda 750. I had a 57 Chevy that I bought for $15. Destroyed it. That car is worth probably 30 to 40,000 anyway. My dad said, "Don't do that." Did it anyway. You guys, wake up, pay attention. Ask one of the old guys what's going to be valuable. He knew. Of course, I threw away 2 things hobby-wise that I kicked myself in the ass for. I had a redhead Dynajet that I threw out because it was in my way. I didn't fly that stuff. I also had a tether car, looked like a sprint car for a dueling. Well, that's $4,000 now. I threw it away just because it was in the way. Kind of like the garage when I said to Danny, take everything, the motorcycle parts, the lathe, the press, everything out. It was gone. I just changing my mind, you know. I didn't want to deal with it, trying to sell that shit. I sold Gerald Champ. He's on the forum. I hope he's doing okay. He's probably about 80 years old. About 1985, I sold him a redhead McCoy 60 in the blue box, brand new. You know, it wasn't ignition. It was a glow 60. But I sold that to him for $50. I hope he still got it, or I hope he sold it and got some decent money out of it. I bought that from Eugene Toy and Hobby. I don't know why I bought it. I just did. All right, we are an hour and 15 minutes in. What do you guys want to do? Do you want me to continue, or do you think I ought to end the show and start another one? when I do something. I haven't heard it's dinner time yet, so your plane. What about my airplane, Henry? I even did trains, HO trains for a while. I had a brass Shay. Nah, well, maybe as long as they don't get too ratty. I had a brass Shay. I had a brass Big Boy, HO. I don't remember. I bought them from Bill Crane at Crane's Trains and Hobbies on Hacienda. It was cheap. It was cheap back then, but really it was a lot of money because everybody's wage was $1.15 an hour. I don't know what, I can't remember what I paid for it. Maybe $25, $30 for each one of those. I wish the hell I'd saved those because they were cool. They were solid brass. Boy, they were heavy, heavy. But I got tired of playing with trains. Nothing has kept my interest except for model airplanes and motorcycles. I'm too old for motorcycles now. The ground is too damn hard, so it's going to be all model airplanes until I'm done. I just ran across my, I don't know that I've ever showed this. I can't remember. Oh, wrong one. We got to go on this one here. I just ran across my Harley Davidson portfolio. And what that is every training school that I've been to. I mean, there's pages and pages of this shit. And then I ran across a picture of my dresser that I sold. Oh. That was a nice motorcycle. That was the chief of police, St. Louis City Police bike. I got a copy of the title around here somewhere. I bought for $14,000, and it was stripped. It didn't have the tour pack on it. It didn't have the road Zeppelin seat. But I had the wheels chromed, the stock wheels chromed. I put a thunder header on it. I had a S&S crank. No, Jim's machine crank in it. It went from 88 cubic inches to 103. And what cams did I have? I think I had 256s in it. Maybe it was 251s. Anyway, Ron's porting service heads. It put out some good numbers on the dyno. I think it was 113 horsepower or something like that. I painted a screaming eagle on the fairing. Of course, the road Zeppelin seat was $1,000. I probably had about 35,000 in it. I sold it for 10. Just can't get your money out of this stuff. But now that same bike you can get for 8,000, maybe 7,000. Because they got new shit. And Harley Davidson's got electric motorcycles. I'm glad I'm out of that shit. You electric folks are fanatical. You need to get a grip. What do you think makes electricity? Coal, fuel. Electricity don't fall out of the sky. Nothing more efficient than an internal combustion engine. That's a lie. There's a guy on YouTube here who has built a hydrogen powered truck. They said it wouldn't work, but he's got a, just look up hydrogen powered truck. I think it's a 48 Chevy with a LT1 in it that's been converted to hydrogen, got a big hydrogen tank in the back. And they're doing some type of, it burns zero carbon, which is stupid because they're all freaked out about this carbon. Well, it's not carbon monoxide, it's carbon dioxide. And what do you think plants take in to make oxygen? Carbon dioxide. So the more carbon dioxide we have, the better the plants live. They got everybody buffaloed. Now, if it was carbon monoxide, that's what kills you. It's an oxygen displacement, but carbon dioxide is what the plants use to make oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. So, young guys, I hope you're paying attention. Old guys, you probably know it already. If you don't know it, well, you just learned something. So we'll go 8 minutes more and then I'll shut her down. I'll paint this off camera. I make a decision whether I'm going to block that stabilizer in and paint it, depending how this, I think this is going to come out a shade dark. Probably going to take 5-6 coats to make it white. So it'll go from 0.8 to an ounce. Whatever. I got to do what I got to do. I can't have it looking like a rag. So I tried to cut corners with AutoZone primer. It was an experiment. Don't do it. Just go ahead and put in the, I didn't put in the labor on this airplane that I should have. I should have done my finishing method, even though it only has a quart of paint on this. Of course, it has a little bit more than a quart because I did put a few extra coats of clear on this wing, and I'm glad I did because I've sanded the high spots on the gold leaf off. I got to repair them and then shoot a little bit of clear in this panel here on both sides. Because I was going to use urethane and bury this stuff, figuring I could get away with it, but decided against the urethane because it'd be a turd. It'd be shiny turd, but it turd nonetheless. Because it still needs a weenie on here, and that weenie's going to add 3/4 of an ounce. You know, the Dubro exhaust deflector. Otherwise, it goes everywhere. And we're already pretty damn nose heavy, so that's why it feels like a bat. I mean, it does feel like a bat. All right, well, I guess we're winding down now. We got 4 minutes left. You guys got any questions? Anything I didn't hit on? Anything I didn't cover? My pronouns? Shit. He, him, them, their, us, we, it, whatever. All of the above, anything but late to dinner. Stupid. When are we going to say enough's enough? Just sand that right there. I'll get in trouble if I really say my mind. Nobody likes the truth anymore. I started listening to George Orwell's 1984 on audiobooks. That guy knew what he was talking about in 1949. It's just ridiculous. Don't eat yellow snow. All right. I guess we're out of here. We're done. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't mess with the pufferfish. George Carlin was right on the money with everything. Right on the money with everything. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.